What up, everybody, and welcome to Baz on Blades. My name is Baz, and I talk about blades, and today I am super duper excited to be talking about this blade. This knife features a new handle material, at least for Baz on Blades, and I love exploring new materials in the cutlery world. What we've got today on the tabletop is the Civivi Knives Voidflare flipper folder. This is sort of a smallish sub 3-inch flipper folder from Civivi Knives, and spoiler alert, I absolutely love this knife. I love everything about it, and I am going to make hot, passionate love to this knife throughout this video. So if you are one of those weirdos that is not into that, I mean, that's okay. You may want to look somewhere else. But for those of you that love knives, like Baz on Blades loves knives, stick around. I think you will enjoy this. As always, we want to thank Justin over at White Mountain Knives, where I bought this knife, and I typically do my online retail cutlery shopping. Fantastic business. In fact, let's take a little road trip here. Let's go over to the White Mountain Knives website, take a look at the complete Voidflare lineup. We'll see what they offer. So here we are at the White Mountain Knives website. We're going to take a look at the entire Civivi Voidflare line. Unfortunately, I have to inform you, only one variant is still in stock, but we'll still take a look quickly at the entire range, and then we'll get back to the tabletop to finish the review. So the one model that is in stock is what I'm going to call sort of the entry level, the base model of this, and it is in black G10 over gold liners. That's a colorway that Civivi has done before, with a black finished Sandvik 14C28N blade, and that's what the steel that all the non-Damascus versions are bladed in. That is at $63.75. Still in stock. If you like the black and gold, jump on it. Next up, we have the variant we have for the tabletop today, and it is the highest priced variant at $89.25 for the G10 aluminum handle scales and the Damascus blade. Next, we have a model with similar handle material, but in a copper color, again with 14C28N for your black finished blade and black finished hardware and liners. And the final one is what they're calling grayish white resin handle scales. If you like that resin handle material look, this is a good option for you. They're over blue liners and a satin finished blade. That's a good looking knife. If you like that sort of look, that's a really good looking knife. Every one of these colorways very much works for this little knife. It's a good looking design. It is a good looking design in every one of the variants. Now, one of these variants that's sold out, let's go over here. I'll show you how to set up notifications at White Mountain Knives. So when they're restocked, they'll send you an email. All you got to do right here, email address right there. You type in your email address, hit notify me, and Justin will send you an email when this comes back in stock. Then all you got to do is jump over to the website, make your purchase. You can get in on the next drop of the Voidflare. I would think the first couple of drops, of course, the first one is basically sold out. I would think that the second drop is going to sell fairly quickly as well on these three models that are sold out now. Maybe a little slower on that sort of base model. Because I think less people are going to like the just sort of plain look of the black G10 over gold liners. Maybe. I don't know. I, of course, went for the fancy smancy, highest end, most expensive version, because that's all that will do for Baz on Blades. Let's get back to the tabletop. So now that we are back from White Mountain Knives, let's talk about the Civivi Voidflare. Let's knock the numbers out first. Like I said, this is a slightly sub 3-inch blade length flipper folder. We're looking at 2 15/16 for your blade length. That's about 7.5 centimeters. Blade stock thickness, about 119 thousandths of an inch or 3 millimeters. Your blade width, 995 thousandths of an inch or 25.3 millimeters. Handle length, 4 1/8 inch or 10.5 centimeters. Your handle thickness, 475 thousandths of an inch or 12 millimeters. Handle width at the widest up here at the pivot end. Let's see, it's 1 1/10 of an inch or 27.7 millimeters. Closed width is very compact on this smaller knife, including the flipper tab. You're at 1.25 inches or 32.1 millimeters. Overall length of this knife is 7 1/16 of an inch or slightly less than 18 centimeters. Stop pin is 119 thousandths of an inch or 3 millimeter, the same as the blade stock thickness. Very good, Civivi. Behind the edge on this hollow ground semi Damascus blade is 14 thousandths of an inch or 0.36 millimeters. Handle to blade ratio is 72%, and your weight 2.89 ounces or 82 grams. This knife does meet the ridiculous online internet standard of 1 ounce per inch of blade length. So happy days for us. Let's get into our material. Again, we are in the newest iteration of Civivi's stainless Damascus. This is a semi Damascus. I did look around a little bit to see what this steel is because I don't really care. This knife is not a heavy use knife. I'm not really worried that much about the blade performance beyond a certain level. But I did do my due diligence, and from what I understand, the core steel is 10 CR, and then it's clad with layers of 5 CR and 316 stainless. Now that 10 CR core is basically the same thing as VG10, and VG10 is in that sort of mid-rangey group of 440C plus, you know, the sort of the 440C improved, the VG10, the 154 cm, the 14 Cs, in that range right there. Civivi themselves are saying that they are Rockwell in this at the 5860. So I think overall we're going to get sort of 440-ish performance out of it, which means decent wear resistance or edge retention, good impact resistance, and good corrosion resistance. None of my Civivi Damascus blades have been used a lot. They are looky-look knives, more dress-up carry knives if I'm carrying something on a budget end. But I've had decent performance, and the finish on them seems to be pretty solid as well. The etching on it, I've not had any issue with wearing through those finishes. I was all over the edge of this with the hardened steel jaws of a pair of calipers, and it didn't scratch the finish up. So that gives you a good idea. Cutting through cardboard and stuff shouldn't wear it too bad. Now, if you want to get into super abrasive stuff or super dirty stuff where it might have dirt or sand in it you're cutting through, you're going to get some wear right there. But expect that sort of 440C-ish type of performance. Into the handle, we are a stainless liner lock. The show side liner is weight relieved. You can see in there. We do have a new handle material. They are calling this a G10 silver foil combination. It has a very sort of geo sort of surface pattern with the foil. The resin in this G10 is clear. It doesn't have any tint to it. And then you've got, let's get up real close here. The matting in the G10 is a silver, almost like a silver twill carbon fiber type of silver, a bright silver. And then you can see the metallic accents of that foil is in a darker sort of silver, almost like a not a stainless steel, but a sterling silver against something else. I don't know, a different shade of silver I'm finding a lack of words as I'm trying to describe it. It's got an opalescence. It's got a depth to it. You can see it has got quite a bit of character to it. Here is the backside. You can see that backside scale probably came from a different sheet of this material, as the top layer is a little different. You see the foil does not touch off as high in that top layer. That's one way you can tell on these handle materials. They're bulk made. These two scales were cut from two different sheets, two different layups of this material, more than likely. And that doesn't mean anything. You'll see that in anything that's got a sort of this type of detailed handle material, or maybe a micarta, where it's both the same colored micarta, but they got a slightly different character from side to side. That's because those parts probably came from a separate layup, just came out of a bin of the bulk parts. It is a beautiful, beautiful material. It's got a lot going on everywhere that you look. Look at this. It's almost like I'm looking at an elevation map. It's really a cool material. It's just got a lot going on. It loves light, and light loves it. That is a beautiful, beautiful material. Stainless finish on all your small parts. Very interesting. We are all T8 on this, except for the pocket clip screws. The screw head is T6, but the screw itself is the same size, because this screw has to switch with this screw, excuse me, this screw right here. So the pocket clip is ambidextrous. You can see it is surface mounted though. It does have recessed screws. It is a compact version of Civivi's fold over skeletonized pocket clip. Very, very good. Very good. We have ceramic bearings on the pivot and detent. It is a beautifully well-made knife. Wonderful materials. Let's get into, okay, let's go into the fit and finish, since we're already saying it's a wonderfully made knife. Fit and finish is Civivi. It's damn near perfect. It is damn near perfect. I couldn't find any flaws in this knife. The blade grinds, that big old fat hollow grind, love that. This big ball milled channel here, this sort of, it's aesthetic detailing. It's a sort of a fuller, I guess. I love this new Damascus that they have, this Sandmai Damascus. I know it's not expensive stuff, but it looks so fantastic. It looks so fantastic. And Civivi is doing an excellent job of finishing this blade material. I mean, they are, as far as this type of thing goes in the budget realm, Civivi owns this. Civivi owns this right now. I've got zero issue with their current Damascus at all. We've got a run of actually good jimping, well placed. As always, I wish the patch was just a little bit longer, but I like jimping. I'm like a jimping super freak, you know. But it is aggressive enough. It does catch. Let's get some pressure down in there, and then we'll take a look at my thumb here. You can see there's plenty of meat getting down in the troughs of that jimping. It is going to hold very well. The fit and finish on the handle. Let's get up super close. The scales and liner, there's a slight box in there for a revealed edge of the liner. You can see this outside edge of the liner is soft and radiused, and then you have a flat on the side of the scale, and then a wide flat chamfer around. You've got this sort of ball milled detailing, this swoosh here on both sides of this knife. I think it adds a lot of character. The fit everywhere, you can see as far as the boxing goes everywhere around it, it is super even. It is super even, guys. There's no I don't see any issues at all. Let's take a look at these standoffs. Got a couple of concave detailed barrel standoffs. Very nice. You got a lanyard pass through. I could do without that myself. I could have probably just went solid on the end here as far as the scale coming out, just for a continuing line there. But for those of you that like add a little jewelry to your pocket jewelry, it's like jewelry. Damn, you'd have to have a lot of money to put jewelry on your jewelry. But I think fit and finish wise on this knife, it's Civivi. It's upper end Civivi. Remember, we're getting up close to about $100 in this sub 3-inch bladed knife. Beautiful, beautiful work. Fit and finish wise, beautiful materials. This is a standout looking knife. So let's talk about the action. It's perfectly centered, and it's super easy to see that. Look how the tip of that blade falls right into that center detailing of that standoff. That is perfectly centered. Like, that matters right there, Baz on Blades. Why are you even showing that? Look how it's perfectly centered, everybody. The D10 is awesome. This little thing rockets out. I've tried to fail this knife. Let me try to fail it right here. I'm a failing fool. All right, let's gradually add some no, as soon as it breaks, it just rockets out. Now, the drop shuttiness is sort of not the best because that blade is so light, guys. It is so light. Like I say, it's 3mm blade stock, sub 3-inch blade, not too wide of a blade. And then you've got this big fat hollow grind here. You've got this big fat fuller grind right here, taking out a lot of material. But I mean, you can see if I take anything off of the liner, it's absolutely just drop shut. But with the liner pressure against it, it just doesn't have the blade weight to overcome that. So it'll need a little bit of assistance. But I'm telling you right now, the action is spot on this thing. I don't wish for anything. It's snappy, explosive. The lockup is absolutely 100% solid with zero movement or even sense of movement in any direction. You could not want for better action on a knife like this. Absolutely top tier Civivi work right here. Everything about this, I hope this is not going to be a very limited handle material, because I'm going to tell you right now, Civivi Knives, listen to me preach, Civivi Knives. We need a bigger version of this knife. We need a 3.5 or a 3.6-inch version of this knife. I'm telling you, we need this. I don't care what it takes. I will fund it myself. I will give millions of dollars to see that happen. If you'll take a check. Civivi, let me know if you'll take a check. I will pay millions of dollars to make sure that 3.5-inch blade version of the Voidflare, let's call it the Voidflare. It's more Voidflare. It's Voidflare. That's what we'll call it. Official name, done. I'm not even going to charge you for that, Civivi. Yeah, I think we need a bigger version of this knife. It is a beautiful, beautiful design overall. Let's talk about the utilitarian usage and ergos of the Civivi Knives Voidflare. Drop point, high tip on the blade, plenty of flat straight edge here, nice open belly, very high tip. That is perfectly done. It instantly catches and pierces. Beautiful job on that secondary bevel on this knife. Tip is not rolled at all. It is still very crisp. Love it. Love it. So, I mean, we've got a thin behind the edge, 14 thousandths, high tipped drop point here with a wide open edge profile. It's ultimately usable. I mean, that high tip may give you an effort or a issue if you want to get tip up and do utility cutting like this. It's not the best design for that, but everything else, piercing, this is a madman as far as piercing goes. With that tip, almost a spear pointy shaped drop point, and this giant fuller here, it's just giant fuller right here. That is to run the blood of your enemies away from your hand. That is what that fuller is for. I think we can say that officially. Drop point. I mean, that's what it is. It's a drop point. Got a nice sharpening choil here. We didn't waste any of this blade length or cutting edge length putting a stupid ass finger choil up here. I'm so tired of secondary finger choils on everything. I'm surprised somebody hasn't released a knife. The whole fucking blade is nothing but finger choils. And then it's got this much edge right up at the tip. But you can choke way up on it, because that's what the finger choil guys always say. You got to choke up on it, do the detail work. I'm not carving out a totem pole with my damn pocket knife, all right? My pocket knife, I cut strings off of stuff. I cut rope. I cut tubing. I cut cardboard boxes. I'm not crafting with it. I don't need that finger choil up front on every damn knife. So I'm happy with that here. Ergonomics as far as the handle goes, I'm very surprised I like this knife as much as I do. Most of you know I prefer a larger folder, but this has got plenty of room on the handle here. It is a very ergonomic handle, plenty of room. Again, my hand itself, large, my fingers, medium length, but chunky. And that's what we've got right there. Thumb falls right on that jimp, and it is the perfect offset from that finger choil in the handle. It is a very, very comfortable knife. Nice drop to the butt here. Little bit of a flare for a sort of a pseudo bird's beak at the butt end. The pocket clip, I can feel it's there. I can feel it's there, but because of the handle size and the more compact pocket clip design, plus a flattened down tip here, it's like a total non-issue. I believe, although I wouldn't, I believe I could work pretty briskly with this knife for an extended amount of time and not hotspot on anything. It's just a fantastic design. I believe this is an in-house design, if I'm not mistaken. Let's pull the box out here. We don't have a designer name. And of course, I didn't show you the box and stuff. Inside the box is the black Civivi zipper pouch with the green Civivi microfiber cloth, a couple of stickers, and their warranty information. The same thing that comes with every one of these knives. This is spectacular. It looks beautiful. It feels wonderful in the hand. Yes, it's compact, but I mean, come on. This is the sweet spot for a very large percentage of knife enthusiasts. There are many, many people that will not ever carry a big knife like a 3.5-inch blade. Even though that's not big to me, it may not be big to you. But they want to carry a 3-inch blade, maybe slightly less, or they live in an area that has a blade length limitation. Here in Tennessee, I don't have any limitations. I can carry a sword. I don't, but I could if I wanted to. That would look sort of strange in East Tennessee. Not many sword people around here, surprisingly. Look at that handle material. Beautiful, beautiful work. Everything about this is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's look at that lockup there. Again, let's look here. Oh, there's a good shot. You can see that lightning on the show side liner. There's no lightning on the backside liner, but that's okay. We made it under the 1 ounce per inch of blade length ratio. So they obviously did the right thing here. The Civivi Knives Voidflare. This may be the only small knife in the last 5 years that I have actually loved. I bought this knife and I thought, well, if I don't like it, I could set it aside. And if I ever date again and the woman wants to get into my interest, this would be something special to give to a woman. But now that I've got it in my hand, I'm like, screw that woman. I don't need, I'll take her out to dinner twice. I don't care. I'm not giving her this. I love this little knife. And I'm not joking either. We need a 3.5-inch blade version of the Civivi Knives Voidflare. The Voidflarer. More Voidflare. All right, there you go. As always, thank you very much for taking the time to watch one of my long videos. God bless all of you, and we will talk to you again.